happening, everybody? Welcome back to this is Forgo, and today we're going to talk about Gladiator, a character that got a tier 3 and a tier 4 in this update. That is something that I'm really happy that Netmarble did, because it means that we don't have to wait forever before he gets a tier 4, because this character sat for a long time at tier 2, which is pretty much useless, as most of you know, in this game. And they gave him the tier 3 and the tier 4, which is awesome. That is really, really good. The thing that sucks about Gladiator is the fact that he's an alien. There's not a lot of requirements for aliens in the game, so it kind of hurts him a little bit. But I'm pretty sure they really meant for this guy just to be an ABX, maybe an ABL guy, being a combat superhero, maybe replacing Moon Knight, or maybe replacing Black Panther. But, you know, in my opinion, guys, if characters can't really outscore another character by a whole lot, and I don't know if Gladiator can or not, and I don't know how much he can, I don't know how much of an improvement he would be compared to Moon Knight or Black Panther. Unless it's an astronomical amount, I just never really think it's worth it, because rewards don't really justify having a character that can do 500,000 more or maybe 1,000,000 more. But maybe on certain accounts, maybe it would be the difference for you. But Gladiator looks pretty awesome, guys. I really like the look of his uniform. God, this thing looks sick. He looks like a total badass. You guys can look at my stats. He's pretty much maxed out. That critical rate's gonna be maxed out from one of his skills. He has that leadership tag, which is nice, but remember, leadership is for a speed character in White Fox, and so a lot of times you can't put her with him, which kind of sucks, in ABL, ABX, or even World Boss. So yeah, that's kind of, I mean, there's niche moments, niche areas in the game you can use it, but not so much, really. He's got, I believe he's got 5-star Urus on him. Yeah, he's just got 5-star physical attack Urus and some critical damage on him. And then what did they do for the guy? Well, they gave him the tier 3, and this is pretty interesting. So we have the accumulation on his tier 3, which is pretty awesome. And whether it's on his uniform or whether it's in his regular base kit, he has accumulation on his tier 3, which we're going to get to here in a little bit. His passive, they actually made his passive a lot better in this uniform. He's got a way more survivability than what he had before, because he always had the 5% of HP, but now he gets to recover 50% of HP every 150 seconds. That is really nice, guys. It's really good for AC. It could be useful for timeline, but he doesn't have any ignore iframes, so I don't really think timeline's going to be his thing. I think it's really more for PvE and AC, right? But we all know Netmarble don't give a crap about AC. It's obvious. But the one skill is nothing really. The two, I mean, there's no real changes really major there. But the third skill, he does have, he went from a 50% attack, or he went from accumulation on his base kit to getting 50% attack. So they moved the accumulation from the third skill to the tier 3. But the funny thing is, whenever you look at his base kit, I think this might be a typo, he's got accumulation on his tier 3, but he also has accumulation on the third skill. It's I think that's a bit of a typo. It's a little bit of a mistake. It's a little wacky, but okay, whatever. I just thought I'd point that out. But his fourth skill in the new uniform does give him, you know, invincibility for 6 seconds, but it also gives him 50% attack. It was 40% attack, and now it's 50%. So that's a nice little buff, right? And then you have the fifth skill, which actually has a damage proc by 100%, right? And they gave him a heal. He didn't have his heal and the 20% heal in his base kit, which is awesome. Again, more survivability, guys, along with the decreased damage received that this guy has in his kit. And then you got the extra damage with the 100% damage proc. And the passive here, they increased his skill damage a little bit. He already had super armor, and he gets decreased damage received by 40%, which is all the same. They really just increased his skill damage here. And his leadership, they bumped up by another 5%. This was 55%. Now it's 60%. So, you know, it's a little something. His tier 4 is pretty interesting, because all it is solid physical attack buff. And I believe this goes up to maybe 120%. I'm not really sure. Don't quote me on that. So let's jump into skills and take a look at these things and what they look like. So whenever you're playing with Gladiator, there's a couple different rotations you can do. You can go 5, delay, 3, 4. You go 5, delay, 3, 4. And you'll be able to get that damage proc right there that I'm showing you guys, which is pretty awesome, right? Or you could go 3, 5, delay, 4. You could also do that, and you're still going to be able to keep the proc from the fifth skill if you do it that way. So I'll show you here. 3, 5, delay, 4. Right? And There's that proc right there, right? Had to put my finger on the right button there. Small little buttons, right? Big fingers. But yeah, that's pretty much how you get it done. So I always go 3, 5, delay 4 is kind of how I like to do it. That just seems to work out better for me. But you can go 5, delay, 3, 4. Either way, it's going to work, right? And you want to throw in that 2 and that 1 every so often to try to build up your tier 3. But literally, and you also want to proc on the tier 3. So you want to go 5, delay, 3, 4, tier 3, right? It's a little tricky, guys, especially with a proc. Like with a rage, it'd be a lot easier. Now, I don't have the best build on the character because the truth is, I'm not going to use him. I already have Moon Knight tier 4, and depending on how much stronger Gladiator is than Moon Knight, I mean, he better be scoring 2 million more. Like, he better be scoring a lot more than an old character like Moon Knight. And if he's not, to me, he just wouldn't be worth it, especially considering all the resources that you'd have to put in the character because he is a native tier 2, whereas Moon Knight is not. And you don't have to use Moon Knight. You can use, Black Panther as well, which would be the same situation, right? He doesn't have an artifact, but if you take a look at his artifact here, we take a look at this thing, you can see that, it does increase damage to supervillains, which is nice, guys, and decrease damage from them also. So it's a nice little damage buff for him, which can be pretty helpful. I'm only using a regular free-to-play 200% damage proc obelisk on him. A CTP of energy could play with him, but again, I think a rage would be really the best. And when you look at the uniform options, you can see we have Wasp here, we have Cyclops, we have Miles, we have Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider, and we have Wolverine, right? And the uniform effect does give him more chain hit damage by 15% and ignore target dodge rate by 35%, which is pretty useful, especially against Null. That's actually really nice. The ignore dodge can come in handy, also at AC as well. But I just want to show you guys, like at level 70, like how strong he is right now. And this is going to be a very, very high stage. Don't expect him to do this, guys. This is stage 75. Again, because Alien, there's not a lot of places you really get to use the character, to be perfectly honest with you. ABL, ABX, obviously you can, but we're going to use this team right here and see what we can do to get it done, guys. We're going to see what we can do. Now, we do have 35% ignore dodge, but we don't have any other ignore dodge, so that actually will hurt our damage a little bit. When he's level 80, that'll be alleviated, and obviously he's going to do a lot more damage, right? All right, I'm going to do that again because it got a little wacky, man. Unfortunately, with Gladiator, it's really easy to miss your proc a bit. You really got to time that 5 right. So 3, 5, and then 4. I should have hit that 2 first, so that way I could, hopefully get the tier 3 off cooldown a lot faster. There we go, there we go, there we go. And there we actually land the proc on the tier 3. And as you guys can see, it's pretty nuts. There we go, there we go. Nice, nice, nice. He's actually doing some pretty respectful damage. In all honesty, guys, like, I mean, I'm honestly surprised about how much damage this character is actually doing with this build. And the other thing that's really cool about him is his movement speed is nuts. This dude is fast. There we go, there we go, there we go. I kind of messed up a little bit there. Got my rotation a little goofy there. Okay, 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 okay. There we go, there we go, there we go. And we landed the proc on the tier 3 once again. I'm really trying to focus, guys, to try to keep that proc where it belongs. There we go. I also like that he's in an iframe, at least for the most part. Unfortunately, with the 4, he isn't in it all the time. But, boy, you really got to smack that tier 3 as fast as you can to get it done. Okay, let's get back here. Now, look how fast he's just flying around, right? It kind of reminds you of Iron Man. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. There's that proc, nice. Right, and like I said, I like to throw in that 2 and that 1. Because it really keeps that tier 3 get off cooldown. So you can actually, do more damage because his tier 3 is really where it's at. Like, he doesn't do bad damage right now. And obviously when he's level 80, he's going to do a lot more. Woo, boy, I tell you what. But, I mean, seriously, considering that he's level 70, the amount of damage that he's doing is actually really good. I mean, this is he's almost doing the first phase of stage 75. 75, guys. Stage 75. He's almost done the first phase in just a little over 2 minutes. I mean, it's honestly really impressive. It might not look impressive, But the fact that he was able to do this at level 70 with the current build that I have, I don't have a fully awakened Power Ranger Hulk set. You guys saw it on him. I'm just using a regular 200% damage proc. This is honestly really good damage. This is actually very, very good damage. It's not as good as my Beta Ray build, but my Beta Ray build is built a little bit better, to be fair, but he had a normal uniform. So I'm actually pretty impressed with his damage, but I just think because he's an alien that he's really going to be relegated for the most part through other stages. Because I mean, if you take a look at the aliens in this stage, in this particular stage, right, do you need Gladiator to be able to go to stage 75? And the answer is hell no. Hell no, you don't. You have Gamora here. Gamora, Thanos, but Thanos is pretty expensive if you don't have this uniform, right? Loki can do this, right? I mean, Enchantress can probably do this too, to be honest, guys, on a good account, right? Thor can do this, right? There's a lot of characters that already have them level 80s available, Odin, that can actually do this, that are, and some of them are quite a bit cheaper than a character like Gladiator. And for me, if Gladiator, and I don't know this yet or not, if he cannot outshine the combat superhero and ABL and ABX by a large amount, guys, I mean, those characters are old. He needs to outshine them by a lot, at least in my opinion. And if he doesn't, to me, he wouldn't be worth building or picking up unless he's your favorite character, right? He is strong. He's got some good power. He's got some insane survivability. His survivability is quality. He is a really fun character to play. He looks amazing. There's a lot of good things about him. But whenever I'm going to kind of reserve my judgment a little bit on him because I want to get him to level 80 and see how he performs then. Because, listen, if he's already doing that much damage right now, when he's level 80, he's gonna melt the crap out of that thing, and it's gonna be pretty easy for him. At least I would think so. But should you pick up this uniform? I mean, it's really entirely up to you whether or not you want to pick up the uniform. Obviously, if you love the character, if you don't already have a combat superhero, and you don't mind spending some extra resources, then he's probably going to be a really good choice for you. But if you already have a tier 4 combat superhero, like yours truly, like say with Moon Knight, then you probably don't need him. But if you're competitive in ABX and ABL, maybe you would want him then. But I'm not sure how much damage he's actually going to do. But I will say that I'm pretty impressed with the damage output and definitely his survivability right now. But in my opinion, as far as what I know now, I would really be reserved on buying this uniform if you already have that combat superhero, just because I'm not sure about how much more damage he'll actually do, how relevant he's actually going to be, because he's an alien. But depending on your account, maybe you would actually want him. So guys, let me know what you think about Gladiator. And I do stream on Twitch and YouTube. The link to Twitch is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody. Take care.